So in this video, I'm going to make an American flag weapon concealment case. And this is all made out of pallet wood, so the first thing you have to do is dismantle your pallets and start milling the lumber. With that done, I decided it'd be a good time to burn the pieces of wood that needed to be burnt, and then I started gluing all the strips together to start forming the flag. With the panels glued together, I cut them to length and width at my table saw. And then I cut the section that would become the field of stars off of the top portion of the flag, and then finished burning that piece. The burning caused the wood to cup and distort quite a bit, so I used some cauls on the back of each piece to help keep them flat. With all that work done, I began working on the back and the sides of the case. So here I am just gluing up the back panel, and then cutting it to its final width and length. And then I used glue and brad nails to attach the sides of the case to the back. With the case completed, I started working on the dividers that go on the inside of it, and again I just installed these using glue and brad nails. With that finished up, I could take the panels that make up the flag and set them in place just to ensure everything fits properly. The next step is to start attaching the doors to the case, and to begin this process I started by mortising out for the hinges. Next, I attached the hinges to the case, and then the doors to the hinges. And with the doors attached, I took a second to make sure everything works the way that it should. So with everything working, I started on the field of stars, and to do this I placed masking tape over the whole thing and drew out a grid, and then I traced on 50 stars. To cut the stars out, I used a straight edge and my marking knife. I used white acrylic paint to paint on the stars, and I just dabbed a couple drops on there and then wiped it around and tried to give the stars sort of a faded appearance. And with the paint dry, I could remove the masking and have 50 stars. The next step is to install the magnetic latches, and these are just the child safety locks that you would get, at really any store that you would use for your kitchen cabinets. And here you can see that the door is locked, and you use the little magnetic key and it releases the lock. So to hang this thing on the wall, I'm going to use a French cleat. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm just cutting out the French cleat, and we're going to glue it onto the back of the case. With that done, I applied the finish, and in this case it's just a spray-on gloss lacquer. The final step in building this thing is to install the foam, so I cut the Kaizen Foam to fit and installed it into the case. The foam did interfere with the locks a little bit, so I had to cut away some of the foam to provide room for the locks. And here's the finished piece, ready to be delivered and installed in its new home.